Thank you for joining me on the Jessica Brahma channel. Thank you so much. Please, where are all my friends? Where are all my friends who have been telling me, Jessica, say something positive about Nigeria, stop saying negative things? Please, my friends, gather here and tell me what I can say about Nuhu Ribadu. I mean, the national security advisor of this government. This government that everybody is saying, God help us. Everybody is praying, God help us. Don't let this government destroy us all. And then Nuhu Ribadu, the man we all respected, the former chairman, one-time chairman of EFCC, Mr. Integrity, that everyone had something good to say about, suddenly has become the chief propagandist of this government. This government that is just witnessing the destruction of lives and properties, mass destruction of lives and properties on a daily basis by armed Fulani terrorists. The government has refused to do something meaningful about it. So now Nuhu Ribadu, who should be advising the government on how to confront and bring these terrorists to book, this Fulani herdsmen to book, is busy pontificating about how there are so many levels of the insecurity, and he's just, going here and there. Suddenly he has found his boldness to deal with insecurity, and he's telling us that the immediate threat we have now to Nigeria's security, the very immediate threat, is social media. He's supporting the government's decision to clamp down on people who have found their voices on social media, the voices of opposition and activism on social media. That's what Nuhu Ribadu thinks he should be doing as National Security Advisor. I would like to talk more in detail about this, but I want to give you a background of what is really going on in Nigeria. Just within a weekend, a senior aide to the Emir of Zamfara State, Mr. Shamaki, he sent an SOS from captivity. He said, there are 600 of us here in the terrorist jungle, in the bush. They kidnapped us for ransom. He's asking the Nigerian government for help, pleading with government to kindly meet the demands of these terrorists. As usual, government will want to meet their demands, and their demands is usually millions of naira worth of cash they give to these people. When the BBC did the documentary the other time, they asked them, what did you do with the 60 million government gave you for the recent kidnap of students from their school?
With the Jangebe schoolgirls still in captivity, Zamfara's government was forced to negotiate.
Akabiya, kome aka yi aka ba da yara.
Da mun ce za a ba mu miliyan 300. Daga baya aka haɗa mu da wasu aka yi ta maganganu, shine dai suka ba da miliyan 60 aka fike su. Aka suka bayar miliyan 60.
He said, government give us 60 million, we use it to buy more weapons. So the government of Nigeria with all the military cannot crush these people just because they are Fulani herdsmen, they are Fulani terrorists. Just because they are Fulanis from outside Nigeria that they have brought in to come and slaughter their way through, destroy the indigenous population and take over the land. Nuhu Ribadu, of course the Fulani man, is busy pontificating and telling us stories. Do you know that insecurity, everybody knows that is behind the high cost of food items? An ex-governor of Sokoto State, Atahiru Bafarawa, just came out and made a very touching pronouncement about insecurity. On April 29, 2024, a few days ago, he said that he's owned 10,000 hectares of farmland in Kaduna. He said he used to produce maize in large quantities, in very commercial quantity, and to the extent that he had a mill where he used to grind the maize. He said all that has packed up. The mill has packed up. The production of the maize production from the farm is gone because he gave up his 10,000 hectares of farmland to he calls them bandits, of course, to the terrorists. He said he gave them up. He's left the land completely for them, for his own safety. So when these people are taking over farmlands, the Atahiru Bafarawa himself was a one-time governor of Sokoto State. He's raising a voice and saying, government, all this hunger in the land, this insecurity is leading to hunger, is leading to high cost of food items. Rather than government declare an emergency on terrorism and flush out these killers. Nuhu Ribadu is saying that the only thing that constitutes an immediate national security problem in Nigeria now is social media. I mean, how cruel can you be, Nuhu Ribadu? How cruel? Kidnappers are daily smiling to the bank. Terrorist kidnappers, they go and sack a whole community. They set everywhere ablaze. They kidnap those they can kidnap. They kill those they can kill. And what happens? Nuhu Ribadu is asking government to forget about dealing with these people and focus on social media. While you're still chewing on that, let me just give you a news item that broke yesterday. There's a man called Mr. Uchenna Mojeku. He's a civil rights activist, and he's the secretary of the Global Integrity Crusade Network. He's the name of the aide to the governor is Dr. Dennis Akura, and the governor is Governor Alia of Benue State. So rather than arrest, rather than investigate what happened, or what really made him withdraw the 20 billion naira that should be for the poor people in the local government, for welfare, for roads, for just paying salaries as well. No, what the governor decided to do is to report him to the Benue Police Commissioner, Mr. Hassan, and Mr. Hassan has taken into custody Uchenna Mojeku. He's arrested Mojeku and locked him up. Lock him up for what? For blowing the whistle, for exposing the fraud. That's what is going on in Nigeria. And every day you said to me, stop talking about the bad stories. You say stop talking about the negative stories until it happens to you, until you become a victim of the wickedness going on, until you become a victim of the mass kidnap of innocent people going on. Every day they are killing people in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. The other day, the governor visited the place. They say mourners, people who were mourning somebody that died. They were just in their village. As they were preparing for burial, they were mourning. They said the Fulani terrorist headsmen just took them unawares, started shooting sporadically. They killed 3 people on the spot. So many people were wounded, and of course, many will still die. They scattered all over the place. People that are about to bury their dead. That's just that place, that area of Enugu, between Enugu State and Benue State. Every day, these terrorists who have taken over Benue State, they've succeeded in slaughtering several in Benue State. So now from there, they are encroaching into Enugu State and they are slaughtering people every day. The Enugu State governor thinks the way to appease them is by giving them some large expanse of land for them to dwell there. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They take a mile, they take the whole village. That's what you don't realize, because the governors just want to be in power and they're ready to do anything to please the northern oligarchs, to please the northern military, to please the Fulanis that have taken over the military, the security services, just for them to remain in power. So they don't care about people being killed. They don't care at all. Communities are being taken over in southern Nigeria by these killers. And the governors are not ready to do something to clamp down on these people, to stop this. All the national security advisor wants to do is to clamp down on social media. Those of us that are raising a voice against this wickedness, we are the people they want to clamp down on, just because they don't want the ordinary indigenous population to be at peace, to enjoy the land, the natural resources God has given to them. I'm able to speak because I'm not in Nigeria. If you were in Nigeria, of course, they would have probably locked me up with Mr. Mojeku. Of course, they would have done that. So when you can say, Jessica, focus on the positive, where is the positive? We can't raise our voice for the poor, for the oppressed. And suddenly the National Security Advisor is telling us that is those of us on social media that the negative threat, and we present an immediate national security danger. I mean, can you imagine? In Abuja, gunmen are still abducting people. They killed a pastor the other day. They abducted 3 others. Everyday killings, and the government is unperturbed. And those of you criticizing me for what I'm doing. I want better because you've not been kidnapped yet. I pray you don't get kidnapped. I pray. But the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Thank you so much for joining me. I appeal to you, please give this video a thumbs up so more people can read it, so that the world can really understand what is going on in Nigeria, that the government are killing their own people and silencing voices on social